So I started making like a Barbie whorehouse, and I would have like the male customers come in and I'd dress up the little rooms or whatever.
What? How old were you?
Maybe around 11 or something. You didn't do anything like that? Come on.
No, I've never heard anyone do anything like that.
You needed more exciting friends, Paris.
I know, I should have been hanging out with you when I was little.
Yeah, I would have taken you to the dark side.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we also used to play Barbie murder mystery. So you didn't do that either?
No, I would just dress them up and that was about it.
No killing. Did you cut their hair?
Yeah, when I was very little, I like cut all the hair off of some of them.
Oh, that's mean. Did you do that to your sisters too?
One time I cut Nikki's bangs off and she was like 2 years old. I think because it was like the new baby and I was jealous. So I like literally cut off her bangs and my mom was so pissed.
What other mean things have you done to your sister? Come on, Paris.
She was more of the mean one because she would always tell on me. So Nikki was always like the good one. And then I was like,
oh my God, you're like a mob boss.
Yeah.
Like, because she's a rat, she's worse.
Yes.
Paris Hilton is anti-whistleblower.
Yep. I don't like that.
What else?
She was actually always acted like the big sister. Like she was always the one who was the boss, like in charge, and would always tell me what to do. We have this relationship where I've always like looked up to her as like my big sister. She's always been the one who's been more mature.
Do you still believe that?
Yes.
But did that quality make you mad? You know how like sometimes one sibling is like perceived to be good and responsible, and then the other one isn't, and they kind of feed into that identity?
Yeah.
So you were solid in like being like the bad one.
No, but we never, like nothing bad has ever happened. Like we never got into a fight, nothing like that. I think the only thing I was annoyed was when I was little, like a teenager, Nikki would always love to tattletale to my parents. So that would just make me annoyed, obviously.
Yeah. Today's episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Babbel. If you're looking to learn a new language or just brush up on a language for that secret mission where you really need to blend in, Babbel can help you speak the language of your choice faster than you think. I took 2 years of Italian in college, and at some point in the following 20 years, I seem to have forgotten pretty much everything. Now, after about a month of what anyone would describe as minimal effort, I can honestly tell you that Babbel's method of teaching is so different that it feels like I've already learned more in that month. Babbel is proven to get you speaking a language within weeks and is designed with real-world conversation in mind. Over 100 language experts came together to create the most effective teaching method, and speech recognition technology really helps your pronunciation and accent. The daily lessons take only 10 to 15 minutes, beginning with words and phrases that gradually become more complex without you really noticing. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month subscription, Babbel will give our listeners 3 additional months for free with promo code ANNA. That's 3 additional months free if you go to Babbel.com and use promo code ANNA on your 3-month subscription. That's BABBEL.com, promo code ANNA. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Miller Lite. As the original light beer, Miller Lite has always been there to bring people together through Miller time. My family has a yearly tradition of going to Ross Lake in the Cascade Mountains. We've been going there since I was a kid, and it's one of my favorite places in the world. Just imagine mountains, trees, water, and sky. It was there with my dad and brother that I drank my first beer, a Miller Lite. Of course, spending time with friends and family looks pretty different right now, and as you can imagine, we didn't make it to the lake this year. Not willing to give up on the tradition, my family is planning a virtual trip where we all get together over Zoom to tell stories about the times we've spent at the lake. Add a few Miller Lights, and maybe things won't seem too different after all. Miller Lite, great taste with only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. However you and your friends are enjoying Miller time this summer, you can have the original light beer delivered by going to MillerLite.com/Anna and find the delivery options near you. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Hey, Paris, for what historical figure would you start a fan club for?
Historical figure.
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Yes.
What do you think you love about her?
I don't know. Something about her is just very special, and just her photos are just so iconic and timeless. And after watching more of her films now and like a documentary on her, just seeing how much she went through and just how strong she was, just her whole story is just very fascinating.
Paris, are you still really close with your director of the documentary?
Yes.
I want to ask you dumb things like, how have you changed? But I would hate it if somebody asked me that because I don't even know if one can have perspective on that accurately. But have you changed?
Definitely. I feel like I've changed in so many ways because I honestly didn't even know who I truly was up until this past year with doing this film. So I just learned so much about myself. And I think just from going what I went through, I just tried to just bury my emotions. So just like letting that all out was a very therapeutic experience.
Paris, what's your favorite holiday?
Halloween. I love Halloween so much. I love dressing up. I'm so sad there's probably not going to be Halloween this year. This is like, I live for Halloween. It's like sometimes like 7 to 10 days of just amazing parties, dressing up in different costumes every single night. I love it.
Paris, I hate Halloween.
How do you hate it? It's the best.
I hate it because I kind of feel like I dress up for a living. So there's a little bit of a chore factor, but the bigger issue is dressing up in something sexy makes me uncomfortable on a base level. But then if I look really unattractive and do something funny or clever, you think it's going well for like 15 minutes, and then you're just jealous of all the other girls that look hot.
I've never done a funny costume or any of that, so I don't even know how that feels.
Not great.
Yes. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Halloween is like the ultimate excuse to just dress as sexy as possible and get away with it.
Yeah, you've just summed up like my fundamental like uncomfortable association. Oh God, with that holiday. Okay, when do you feel you're most independent?
When I'm skydiving. I love to skydive. I've been 6 times.
Paris, you've given me the most amazing answers to like all of my questions. I've never been skydiving.
It's incredible.
You know, earlier when I asked you about fear, do you have any irrational fears? Like besides, death feels pretty rational.
Oh, like irrational. I'm pretty fearless. Like I've always been a daredevil, like jumping out of a plane that many times and just things I do. I feel that I've been through so much that nothing really scares me.
Okay, but what about bees?
I hate bees. I don't know anyone who likes bees. Maybe beekeepers who like get honey out of them, but I hate bees.
You know how opposites attract? I really like bees.
What? Why? You're not scared of them?
No, I'm not.
Have you been stung?
Yeah.
And you like them?
Paris, I like bees so much that when I was a kid, I ordered in the mail a bumblebee nest, like a whole like wooden container, and you have to find like wild mouse nesting to attract the queen bumblebee when she comes out of hibernation in the spring.
What?
Okay, what about if you're like a rustling or a shadow in the backyard? You would be terrified, right?
If someone was in the backyard?
Yeah.
One time, like a couple years ago, this man, it was like 4:30 in the morning and I could just hear this loud banging. And I went downstairs and there was this man in my backyard, which was banging on my windows to my living room and just trying to get in.
Paris, what did you do?
I was freaking out and My boyfriend at the time was with me, thank God. And he had a gun. So he went outside and put the gun to the guy's head. And I called the police. And they took like an hour to come. And then the police came and they talked to him. And I was standing there and he said, I just escaped from a mental institution. I went to Hollywood Boulevard. I bought a star map. I saw Paris Hilton's name. I know that she has a lot of money. So I was going to come here and kill her. And he like just said it like it was a normal thing. So that was terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, but thank God that I woke up and he didn't just come in because I don't think I would be here today otherwise.
Do you find that it's hard to, like, when you are out in public, do you tend to always look down because making eye contact means engagement?
Yeah, I get shy. If I know the person, then I can, but usually I feel like so many people are always looking at me that if I look up and I like catch someone's eye, I get immediately really shy.
I used to live by Hollywood in Highland, and if I wandered around there, I found that people wouldn't recognize me at all. Even there were a ton of tourists. There's so many other things to look at. And like, why isn't anybody recognizing me?
Yes.
I don't know if I would describe you as shy. I would almost describe you as this ethereal alien.
Yes, I love that. The ethereal alien.
Like, where do I fit in with these humanoids?
Yeah, I think I might be an alien.
I cracked you open, didn't I?
Yes.
I knew it, Paris. Paris, in one word, how would you like to be remembered?
Kind.
Oh, I love that. And Paris, I really love your documentary.
Thank you.
It's unbelievably powerful. It goes to this beautiful place, and I can't thank you enough for doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I miss you.
I miss
you. And I love you.
I love you.
And thank you for making me feel like a cool girl in
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
You are cool. I love you. You're so fucking awesome.
All right. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to have Dr. Patty Britton back with more straightforward and uninhibited advice on ways to improve our sex lives. If you want more of Dr. Patty, you can find her at drpattybritton.com. Links can be found in our show notes. Dr. Patty, thank you so much for joining us again. You are invaluable.
I'm enjoying it immensely.
We are going to call Ashley.
Hello?
Hi, Ashley. You're here with myself, Anna, and Dr. Patty Britton.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
Oh, great. How are you?
Good.
Ashley, thank you so much for doing this. Will you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. So my boyfriend and I have been together for over 7 years now. And we've always been like a very outgoing couple together where we go to lots of parties and we travel a lot for concerts or football games and stuff, which usually results in like a lot of sexy time, put it that way. And since COVID started, I've noticed that physically that connection is kind of lulled a little bit because we've been around each other 24/7. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. And so I talked to my best friend about it, and she's kind of in the same boat too with a long-term relationship. So we were just kind of wondering, like, what's some advice and to try and like reignite that physical connection when you're such close quarters all the time.
Oh my gosh, Ashley, I love it that you asked this question because we are all there.
You are every person
Right?
on earth in a relationship.
Well, yeah, and it's just, I find like it's weird when you get in relationships, and especially when they're long term, people don't necessarily talk about sex anymore, and it's kind of taboo, or it's just put in a negative light when really it's just like, what are you guys doing? But people don't really talk like that. So I was really looking forward to getting some more advice on that.
That's an interesting thing to say, but you're right. It's almost like when your couple friends get to know you guys, you can't like spill the beans about your sex life as you once could in the beginning of a relationship.
Yes, for sure.
Dr. Patty, what do we do to have sex a lot these days?
Well, this is the billion-dollar question that's going on in bedrooms all over the world because so many people are cooped up with their once beloved. I'm being a little sarcastic. And I mean, the lust goes away. The love is still there. I think that the love is easy to maintain, but the lust, the desire, right? That kind of, I want her, I want him, I want them. And one of the things that you said is so important, which is that you used to change the context of where you spent time and you had adventures that took you out of kind of the normal living day to day in your environment, right?
Mhm.
When you would go to a game or you go to a concert or you travel to a different city. And it's interesting. I just attended a webinar last week on male sexuality, and it was really about couples. And he was really talking about how females are so context driven when it comes to turning on.
What do you mean?
Okay, so that what the setting is like is really a big part of it. And I think that what's happening for you, and it's so common, is it's kind of like, okay, same stuff, different day. And are you working at home, the two of you?
We were. I just got to go ahead about a month ago to go back to work. So we've started to get a little bit of separation. But yeah, for about 3 or 4 months there, yeah, like he had upstairs, I had downstairs.
Exactly. So there's no room for longing. Okay. And this is what's killing desire is that each of you is too available, literally too available, and you're suffocated. I hear it all the time from my clients and the students that I train who are doing the same kind of work. So you have to create a form of separation. And that's why when you travel, you're actually separating from day-to-day living together. And when one of you goes to work or one of you even goes to Trader Joe's to go shopping, you break that monotony of having each other around all the time because you can't want when you have what you want. Does that make sense?
For sure. And I think in my context too, is like I didn't mean it in like a negative light, but like I enjoy missing the person that I'm with.
Yes.
Like I enjoy that feeling of wanting to see them.
Yes. And you can't have that when there's no one to miss or nothing to miss.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you this really cool tool that might help you. A sex therapist named Jack Moran created this formula, and it's called the formula of sexual excitement and desire. Okay. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. So it's really simple. You can write it down. E, the letter E for excitement equals A. So there has to be attraction. You guys already have attraction or you wouldn't be together. And here's the most important part. Plus P-O for perceived obstacle. That's why you can't miss him. There's no obstacle. And it's a perceived obstacle. This is why couples fight, by the way, because when they fight, what they create is an obstacle between them. And then they have the best sex called makeup sex, right?
Dr. Patty, I was going to give Ashley the advice of like when she gets home from work, going to her bedroom, wearing a really tiny skirt with no underwear, and talking about how some made-up dude was hitting on her at work.
Oh, man.
I know.
I kind of like that.
Is that an example of a perceived obstacle?
Yes. And it could be real or imagined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hopefully your partner knows exactly what you're up to.
So you just hit on another, like a vein in this, search for the gold, right? Here's the other vein. Sexy comes from inside us. Sexy, not desire, not sexual, but feeling sexy is from the inside. And there's something that happens when we get sexy ourselves and then we kind of strut and parade around with our partner. And I think that you're onto something, Anna, which is, first of all, separate yourself. That's separation. That's the key here. Perceived obstacle equals separation. You create that by putting on something that makes you feel sexy. What makes you feel sexy? It's not sweats, I'll bet.
No, and there's been a lot of that.
Yep.
Yes.
You know the joke. What are those? They're called pants. That's what's happened in the world of Zooming. But what makes you feel sexy? What kind of outfit would make you feel sexy?
I'm a titty girl.
Yeah.
Eyes and tits have always been my best features, so I'm always low-cut tops.
Nice.
All
Giving it a
right.
sneak peek.
Yeah.
All right. So what about a shelf bra?
Oh, is it bad if I don't know what that is?
It holds the bottom of the breasts up, but they rest on it like a shelf.
Oh.
So it's kind of a push-up, but open. And then one of my favorites is nipple jewelry.
Ooh.
So nipple jewelry does two things. It's a visual for your partner and you in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
But here's this really piece of cool science. What happens when we stimulate a nipple is the same lighting up the brain as when we stimulate the genitals. The nipple connects to our sexual parts, literally. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
They have these really cool, they're called nooses. So you can get these dangling nooses that go around the nipple, and they have like a jewel hanging. You can get them online. Just Google.
Yes.
nipple
Can I tell
jewelry.
you something that's happening right now, Dr. Patty?
Oh, dear, what?
My partner, Michael, right now is looking up nipple jewelry. Apparently, we're on board.
We're all in the nipple jewelry customer base.
Man approved. Gonna make note of that.
But the thing is, you take this little noose around your nipple, right? And you tighten it. And so you're actually like pinching the nipple, which is creating a stimulation that goes right to your brain, just like you were having someone diddling your clitoris. Imagine?
I am kind of.
Dr. Patty, do people have orgasms with nipple stimulation alone?
Some can, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nipple stimulation, it depends on your unique body. For everybody who's listening, everybody is wired differently, literally wired with nerve cords. But the fact is that many, many males and females are aroused through nipple play. And men can enjoy that too. This is something that I think we as girls and women don't really think about that much.
You're right. That and balls. I don't know what to do with them. I'm always afraid that I'm going to hurt.
Well, we don't want to harm them. They're very delicate.
Don't squeeze too tight.
Yeah. Okay. Good, Ashley.
Now, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Some men
Uh-oh.
like very hard squeezing. This is why you have to communicate with your partner, because you have to find out what your partner enjoys. Because there are some males who actually enjoy really hard ball play, and some don't want touched at all. Some like you to bite, some like you to lick, or just squeeze or rub or tickle with the end of a nail, all kinds of behaviors. But it depends on the body. So back to what would make you feel sexy. What else would make you feel sexy? Like high cut French lace thong panties?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm a big fan of I love dressing up, so I would definitely take some notes and incorporate more of that during these times for sure.
What about heels? Like high heel boot, Lady Gaga kind of stuff.
Oh gosh, I would be more of a stocking versus a heel person if I was going for leg, just because I am short and clumsy in heels.
Okay.
I don't know how you did it in the house bunny, Anna.
Oh my
just
God.
to throw that in there.
Ashley, I can't tell you how many times I almost broke my neck. There's a couple of shots where I'm wobbling. I was about to go down. But Ashley, I do love it that in this time, I haven't had, like all of us, a reason to dress up at all. So it's really nice that it's oddly reserved for that. Like, I hate wearing heels in my daily life. I hate it. But it has been so fun to wear some of my pretty, sexy heels. I only have to walk from the closet to the bedroom. It's like 7 feet. but that's been really fun. It makes me feel very sexy. I mean, that must be very common, right, Dr. Patty, that if you are wearing something like a thong or something that is constantly stimulating you a little bit, that's reminding you of your body. And for me, that feeling of power that heals, give power and weakness all at the same time, that wonderful combination.
Well, I'm going to go one better, and that is to suggest that there's so many pleasure products on the market today, and some of them come from like ancient practices of what were called Benoit balls, or little ball bearings or little objects that used to be put in the woman's vagina to constantly remind her and stimulate her so that she was constantly lubricated and ready for sex. So today's world of the sex toy generation has a lot of these products that are safe, that are made of either a medical grade silicone, which won't harm you, or even carved stones. You know, there are some really beautiful decorative kind of pleasure products. But if you wanted to do something really fun, you could wear some of these. They might be called a Kegel ball because they're also used to strengthen the Kegels, which is the muscle that's the undergirdle of our pelvic floor, the PC muscles. And so if you wore those, you would be stimulating yourself, just like you just said, on it, and reminding your body all the time that you are there. And that's part of keeping your body hot and wanting. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great. Yeah. I think it's just like you get in those slumps, right? Where it's just like the same, and you get not necessarily bored, but you're dormant is kind of the way I put it, is like you forget about that stimulating pleasure and stuff that makes you feel sexy.
Yeah, Ashley, I'm so with you.
I'm going to say one other thing that I hadn't said before that I want to really touch base on, because it's something I hear a lot from my clients around the world. And that is when I get a couple and they're a new couple as clients of mine, and they say, we're not having sex. We're just not. We're sexless and we don't touch anymore, but we're best friends. And I go, I'm so sorry to hear that. And the reason I say that is I think it's great that a couple can be best friends, but it can be deadly to desire the other person as an erotic object. Now, that may sound weird because we're objectifying our partner, but we have to, in a way. We have to separate and want that person and that person's body, mind, soul, whatever it is that you want. And that might help you as well to stop seeing each other as kind of family, good friends, besties, but lovers. There's a different energy when you show up as lovers.
Does that kind of relate back to what you were saying about when a couple fights, that tension can be sort of a Kickstarter?
Yes. Anger is a really cool emotion. Most of the time we look at anger in relationships and we go, oh no, anger. But it's actually a really high energy emotion, and it's a push away emotion. Anger goes out from us, even if we don't express it. That's how we feel. It's like, I want to, punch through a wall. And anger is a way to create separation, but it has to then finish. You can't let anger fester or it'll kill a relationship. So yeah, it's like, pop. Don't hold back, but finish the pop. And I think that fighting is a great way of building passion. Anger is passionate. And that's what you're lacking as well. When you get settled, that kind of feeling of we're so settled, it's just not what you want to be sexual and hungry for each other.
I love the idea of Ashley making up a character named Sean at work. He just won't stop staring at her tits. And, and it's just so frustrating that Sean's always like staring.
I might steal that from you. I hope that's not copyrighted.
Oh, yeah, Ashley. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that feel good? Because that's your perceived obstacle that you need to create the tension and the resistance and the separation. And it's totally made up, but it doesn't matter because the energy is real.
For sure.
I love the idea of a short skirt, though, and like little kitten heels, too. No underwear. Or maybe a tiny thong.
Crotchless.
Crotchless panties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just have to be bending over all the time. You need to be like dusting the,
Constantly dropping things.
I can do that.
Yes, totally.
I can
yes.
definitely do that.
Ashley, thank you so much. This was really fun for me too. You know, we're all in this together. It sounds like you're in a relationship that you love and facing the problem and have the courage to talk about the problem that most of us have. So I can't thank you enough.
Yes, for sure. You gave me lots of ideas.
Oh, good.
Beautiful. And just get out of the house at times, safely. Go take a walk for an hour and be gone.
Yeah. I've been wearing sweats for the last 6 months too, but I love the idea of like wearing really tight shirts again. Just something that makes me aware of my own body so I can absorb sort of that feeling of my own sexuality too. And you're right, Dr. Patty, that sexuality comes from
Within.
And can it be taught, or does it have to do with sort of confidence, or I mean, I don't know.
Sure.
I'm sure it can be taught. Well, if you adjust to the idea of like, I'm sexy as fuck.
Just write that on the mirror with lipstick every morning. I'm sexy as fuck.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Well, you can play with that. The language is really playful and it's also got energy in it. Do you feel that? Like when you say, I'm fuckable, there's something different from, I love him. It's a really different feeling. So you have to power yourself up. You can use all of your senses to awaken yourself. I mean, I do courses on how to feel more sexy. There's a lot to say about it. Just keep in your consciousness that little formula of E equals A plus PO, and keep looking for the POs, because that's going to help you a lot in keeping that separation going and then wanting to come back together, literally and figuratively.
For sure. Awesome. Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley, thank you so much. And I can't thank you enough for talking with us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ashley.
I love your podcast, and it was great to be a part of it.
Oh, Ashley, thanks again. I hope that you guys like bang tonight.
He's not home yet, so I have time to get ready.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Nipple jewelry
I love
101.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
Bye, sweetie.
Thank you. Dr. Patty, thank you once again. You are just incredible at what you do, and I love talking to you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.